Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Bushhog here. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but honestly, I've really felt like going for a rant lately. I kind of want to touch on the gameplay real quick. This is Mordhau. It is a medieval fighting game, and this build that I'm doing, I know a lot of my followers know that I've watched the Berserk anime, the original one. I don't watch Netflix at all. Um, well, not at all. Sometimes my girlfriend has it, or my fiance, um, has it, and once in a while I might look at it to see if there's a movie I want to watch. But I don't watch the Netflix Berserk. It's shit. I watch the original anime, and then now I've actually been reading the manga. So this is my guts build, which is basically a giant two-hand sword, no shield. Killing gives you regenerative health. Because Guts is basically supposed to be this guy that can just like fuck everybody up by himself, and then my alternate weapon is just bandages. So there's no way to really simulate, if that makes sense, just being invincible in this game. But at least I can bandage myself up after killing a guy, and it lets me have some more fun, keep going. Um, So yeah. Anyway, the topic that I'm going to get on to, I'm going to switch to gameplay here in a minute to another match I played that I feel like is better. But the topic we're going to be talking about today is why. I don't wait. Let me start over. Um, I haven't done a rant video in a while, but I've had these things on my mind, and I really like to do these videos just to kind of clear my head. And I don't know, maybe I'm fucking crazy, but I talk to myself a lot, like either just in my head or just out loud when I'm riding in the truck or whatever. I sometimes I just talk to myself. I think about stuff. I do it all the time, and it seems like it never stops until I get to the point where I make a video or something like that, and just really put my thoughts out there and either hear other people's feedback or hear people, say, "Hey, man, that's some really good stuff you're talking about." It just helps me put everything out on the plate and express it, if that makes sense. I don't want to call it art because I really don't like art, except for music. I like some music, but it it's one of those things that I feel like I need to do to bring myself into a mental peace. So anyway, I'm gonna switch the gameplay over now to the next match, and I'm gonna get on this topic that I want to talk about. Okay, so today's topic is why getting married at a young age, or you don't even have to be married. Let's just say getting into a dedicated, healthy relationship at a young age is not a bad idea. I remember I'm 26 years old now. Okay, so I'm old enough to know better, but I'm also young enough to still be somewhat in touch with Generation Z. A lot of my friends are Gen Z. I fucking love Generation Z. I think they're one of the best generations to come out, probably since the Greatest Generation, which is the guys that went to World War II. That's maybe that's can be argued or whatever, but that's my opinion. And Gen Z has a lot of their struggle is just they don't have a lot of relevant guidance. A lot of the people that like their parents are fucking idiots. Okay, and then millennials. I mean, I am a millennial. I want to say I'm not retarded, but 90% of millennials are fucking just dumbasses completely. Um, so I try to give advice where I can, in my own opinion. And I remember growing up, and even from my own parents, you always hear this absolute horseshit of, "Oh, you're young. You should enjoy yourself when you're young and go party and don't have a steady girlfriend. Just fucking sleep around and just do whatever you want and like get your life together before you take on a real partner. I'll tell you that right now. That is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay? When let's just take the Bible into play here. Okay, so in the beginning, God made the earth and then he made man. Now man is the reflection of God. Man is made in God's image, okay? Well, it wasn't, but it's been a while. I'm not a like biblical historian or anything, but it wasn't but a couple of days later that God made woman. And he made the woman for the man. Okay? So it was obvious from the beginning that men and women are made to work together for the best possible outcome. Okay, all that shit of build your life up by yourself and be single and just have fun, that is horseshit, okay? You will be a lot better off in your younger years if you can find a girl that you really care about and you really want to make a life with, and you dedicate yourself to her and she dedicates herself to you. And whether you get married or not, I mean, the Bible says you're supposed to get married, but the legalities of that these days are, really just a pain in the ass. You're going to get benefits out of that, okay? Emotionally, financially, it's just everything. You can't do it by yourself. You can, but you're going to struggle more. God didn't intend for you to struggle like that. God made man and woman to work together. You know what I mean? So, and what I want to add to that right now that I'm thinking about is the idea of love, what they call puppy love. Let me tell you, as you get older, the more relationships you're in, which this is extremely bad for you as an adult, the more relationships you're in, the more desensitized you become to your own emotions and your feelings of love towards another person, because you know that you've loved before and it didn't work out or whatever, and that this time if you get broken up with or whatever, you're just, every time you're going to care a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, if that makes sense. You're going to put a little bit less effort into it. When you're young, when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, when you really love somebody, you just put everything you have into it. You're just the sweetest thing. You both just talk on the phone to each other all night. It's honestly, puppy love is what real love is supposed to be, because real love is not, what it's been diluted to now. Real love is supposed to be, you're supposed to just give it your all for this other person because you just care for them that much. You know what I mean? And it's basically impossible to get that after you've gone through 10, 11, 20 relationships or so. You just can't do it anymore because your brain, it's like anything else. Eventually, you get used to these disappointments or the what do you call it? Like I don't know how to say it, going round and round in a relationship. You get used to that cycle, if that makes sense. Now, if your first relationship doesn't work out, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to not try again because you feel like it's never going to be the same. But I'm just saying, in every relationship you have, number one, pick a good mate, okay? Don't settle for somebody that you feel like in your head you have a 20% chance that this thing is going to work out, but you know what, she's better than nothing. Because I promise you, out of all the people on this earth, there is somebody out there that is for you. They might be very difficult to find, but you will find them. Especially if you put the faith in and really ask God to help you to to find that person. You have to learn not only to look for that person, but also to look past the people that, because the devil is going to throw the wrong women at you all the time. It, it just happens. It don't matter if you're attractive, ugly, whatever. There is really evil women out there, okay? And granted, there's evil men too. I'm not just talking to men. I'm talking to the ladies too. I know that a lot of girls out there, which I'm a man, so it's hard for me to speak from a woman's perspective because personally, I think that men and women are two completely different people. We complement each other, yes, but I don't feel it's right for me to try and pretend like I understand a woman's perspective every step of the way. So, ladies, you can take this advice and try and apply it to yourself, but I can't say that I personally can speak for you in your own struggles because I'm not a woman. I don't understand the way you feel all the time. I don't understand the stuff y'all talk about half the fucking time. But I understand men, and I love my fellow man. I I really do have a deep appreciation for God's creation when it came to men, and I have a deep appreciation for women too, but I don't have the deep understanding of it. Is all I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, for both genders, don't. Oh fuck! I got an axe in my hand there. Looks like I kept it for myself. Um, don't settle for somebody that you more or less know it's not gonna work out. Okay? Like if you live in South Carolina and this girl lives in California, and you say, well, she's a nice girl, but I don't have the means to either get to her and make it work, or her get to me and make it work, well, then you may as well just say, you know what, this isn't the right one and this isn't the right time. So don't start it, because all that's doing is desensitizing you. You're going to start it and then it's not going to work out, and you're going to say, man, and then you're going to meet a girl, you live in South Carolina, she lives in North Carolina, and you're going to say, well, she's too far. Last time I tried to date a girl out of state, it didn't work. When it could be a totally different scenario this time, because this girl's actually a little bit closer. So, basically what I'm saying is, when you get a woman that you actually partner with, when you're young, okay, listen to me. You do not want to live with a bunch of stinky, unorganized, pothead, disgusting roommates. It is not fun for any man that is pursuing the betterment of himself, if that makes sense. Yeah, maybe y'all enjoy some of the same stuff, and like I said, I like hanging out with my boys. I don't want to live with them though, because it's too much of one thing. It doesn't work that way. It wasn't designed that way from the start. It's supposed to be a man and a woman. It's supposed to be you and a woman. I've lived by myself. I can live by myself, and I can be somewhat happy by myself. But when you live with a woman, she helps to balance you out. And she has a natural uh, instinct to tell you to clean up your shit, to keep everything nice. And on top of that, you can talk about financials. Now, in the old days, it used to be the man would work and the woman would stay home and watch the kids. Okay, well, that's not really achievable in modern America, just because modern capitalism just makes it so that you really can't depend on one income anymore. The first time anything happens to you, your whole family is fucked. And that's just the sad truth of it. But I'm going to pause the video real quick here and put the other gameplay on. Okay, so we're back. I'm going to take a sip of beer. So, we already talked about finances. When you have a woman that you can trust, you can financially support each other. Even if you control the majority of the bills, that's what I do. I pay the majority of the bills in my household in exchange for the understanding that I am the boss around here. But Cheyenne does help me, and then what money she doesn't spend, she saves. And if I ever fall on some kind of hard times, if we have a slow week at work, or I get sick or whatever, she's there for me to fall back on. Okay? What we can move on to next is emotional support. Okay? There is nobody that's ever going to listen to your problem as much as like I said, I love my brothers, but men are never like your guy friends are always going to have a lot harder time understanding your emotional problems and helping you through them and listening to you than a woman that actually loves you. I'm not talking about just some random girl on the internet, because they really don't give a fuck about you, and that's the hard truth. Um, but if you have a girlfriend or a wife, she cares about you more than anything. Hopefully, if not, then you're in the wrong relationship. And you can tell her any problem you have, and she's gonna, be there for you. She's gonna listen to you every step of the way and try and support you as best she can. And it's just my opinion that these things are best at a young age. You're at no disadvantage whatsoever by getting into a healthy relationship and or getting married at a young age. All that shit your parents tell you, trust me, sleeping around is the most hollow experience you're ever going to have. It is nothing but a short couple of hours at most, um, little hit of dopamine in your brain. That's all it is. And then after that, you wake up the next day, she goes home, she's sad because she's home by herself, and you're sad because you're home by yourself yet again. And most people just keep repeating this process over and over again, just trying to get that little hit of dopamine, when in reality what they need is a consistent partner. That way that person is always there for them, and you can still have sex with each other and enjoy each other, and on top of that, you can go places, you go out on dates, you can just sit at the house and watch a movie. Anything you want, that person is always there and more than willing to do that with you because you love each other. And any little bit of time you can spend together is just the best thing ever. And on top of that, you can raise children together. That is, the Bible says, get married, be fruitful. It's what you're meant to do. You're meant to reproduce. You will get no better gratification in life than you will by raising children. It is how you just advance in life. Even if it's not your own life, that almost makes it better, because any mistake you've ever made in life and said, man, I really shouldn't have done that, you can instill it in your own child and say, when I was younger, I did this, so I'm advising you not to do this. See, our parents made the mistake mostly of marrying the wrong people for the wrong reason. And that's why they pull this bullshit of, oh, don't get married, just fuck around until you're fucking 30 years old, and then, try and find some worn out bar whore that just now decided to get her shit together too. Fuck that. Don't do that. I'm telling you, if you can find a decent girl, and this is going to be the conclusion of the video, if you can find a decent girl and you really love each other, then do everything in your power to commit to that and to make it happen. Move in together, get married, have kids, and you'll be more than happy in life. Even if you're not happy all the time, at least as a man, you're always going to have some kind of goal. You're always going to have some kind of purpose. Even when you're miserable, you still got to feed your kids. You know what I mean? You still got to mow the grass, whatever. It keeps you moving forward forever and ever until you die. And that's what you were meant to do. So, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to rant about that for 20 minutes or so. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like or a dislike, whatever you want. And I'm gonna have a grilling video that I made today. I'm probably gonna try and edit that tomorrow, which will be Monday. Put it together and upload it for you. But I haven't made one of these kind of videos in a while, and I just, like I said, when shit gets on my mind, I really gotta get it out. So I appreciate y'all. Later.